The American Civil War was a transformative period in U.S. history, lasting from 1861 to 1865. This brutal conflict was fought between the northern states, known as the Union, and the southern states, which had seceded to form the Confederacy. At the heart of the war were deep-rooted tensions over slavery, states' rights, and economic differences, leading to one of the deadliest conflicts in American history. Section 1. Prelude to War. The roots of the Civil War can be traced back to the founding of the United States. The nation was divided over the issue of slavery, with the Southern economy heavily dependent on it, while many in the North sought to limit or abolish it. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 and the Compromise of 1850 were attempts to maintain a balance between slave and free states, but they only temporarily quelled the tensions. In 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which allowed new territories to decide the issue of slavery through popular sovereignty, reignited the debate. The violent clashes in Bleeding, Kansas, and the infamous Dred Scott decision of 1857, which denied African American citizenship and the right to sue, further polarized the nation. The election of Abraham Lincoln, a Republican who opposed the spread of slavery, in 1860 was the final straw for the Southern states. Section 2. The war begins. In response to Lincoln's election, South Carolina seceded from the Union in December 1860, followed by 10 other Southern states. These states formed the Confederate States of America, with Jefferson Davis as their president. The Confederacy was determined to preserve their way of life, which was inextricably linked to slavery. The war officially began on April 12, 1861, when Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina. This event galvanized the North, and Lincoln called for 75,000 volunteers to suppress the rebellion. Both sides believed the war would be short, but they were gravely mistaken. Section 3. Early battles and strategies. The first major battle of the Civil War was the First Battle of Bull Run, or Manassas, in July 1861, where Confederate forces under General Thomas Stonewall Jackson secured a surprising victory. This defeat shocked the North and made it clear that the war would be long and brutal. The Union's strategy, known as the Anaconda Plan, aimed to suffocate the Confederacy by blockading southern ports and gaining control of the Mississippi River, thus splitting the Confederacy in two. The Confederates, on the other hand, hoped to defend their territory long enough to gain recognition and support from European powers. Section 4. Turning points. The war saw many bloody battles, but several key turning points shifted the tide in favor of the Union. The Battle of Antietam in September 1862 was the bloodiest single day in American history, with over 22,000 casualties. Although tactically inconclusive, it provided Lincoln the opportunity to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared all slaves in Confederate-held territory free as of January 1st, 1863. This not only changed the character of the war, but also made it difficult for European powers to support the Confederacy. The Battle of Gettysburg in July 1863 was another critical turning point. General Robert E. Lee's attempt to invade the North ended in a devastating defeat, and the Confederates were forced to retreat. The Union's victory at Gettysburg, coupled with Ulysses S. Grant's success in the siege of Vicksburg, gave the North a significant advantage. Section 5. The war's end. The Union, now led by General Ulysses S. Grant, began a relentless campaign against the Confederacy. Grant's strategy was one of total war, aiming to destroy the South's capacity to fight. This was epitomized by General William Tecumseh Sherman's March to the Sea in 1864, where his forces cut a swath of destruction through Georgia, crippling the Southern economy and morale. By 1865, the Confederacy was exhausted, both militarily and economically. On April 9, 1865, General Lee surrendered to General Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia, effectively ending the Civil War. Other Confederate forces soon followed suit, and by May, the war was over.